Hi guys, I'm High Power and welcome back to my channel. If you guys are new to my channel, please subscribe as this channel is all about music production, DJing, music releases, and everything else music related. Today with me in my Discord call, I have my friend Justin. He has his mic muted right now. But right now I'm going to teach you guys how to make industrial sounds like 1788L, or as he would like you to pronounce his name, 1788L. This is an example of some of the industrial sounds. This part up here is my hyper growl that you guys are hearing right now, but I'm not going to show you guys how to make that until the next video. If you guys really want to hear how this really sounds when mixed in, I could play you guys the drop. So yeah, that is the technique that I'm going to show you guys how to make. It's really simple if you guys know how to do it, but at the same time, you need to follow along if this is the sound that you guys really want to make. For this sound, you must, it requires Serum. Now Serum is a kind of expensive plugin. If you guys do not have Serum, I don't suggest clicking off this video because there's some free plugins that you can do this trick with. But at the same time, a lot of free plugins, you can't get this sound. So if you guys have Serum, great, follow along. If you guys don't have Serum, it's good to learn by the time you do get it. So here's the layout for Serum. And as you can see, it's just a default sawtooth wave. So we're not going to be using any sort of unison whatsoever, even though it may sound awesome. We're not using it. So what we're going to do is we're going to select a sine wave for now, because since we have a sine, we can get a feel of the type of sound that we want. So now what you're going to do is you're going to select oscillator B, turn the level all the way down so you cannot hear it whatsoever, and this modulator here, A warp, go ahead and select FM from B, so that way you get this type of sound. And my headphones are pretty low, so if yours are high, they probably got fucking raped. So now that we have a basic idea of the type of sound, what we're going to do now is we're going to select a busy wavetable for oscillator A. And busy wavetables are normally something like, if I can find it here in the spectral, Monster 8. As you see, when I move the wavetable position, it's kind of busy, and if I click it, you can see that that's a pretty busy wavetable. That already sounded kind of awesome. So I'm going to stay about, actually no, I'm going to choose a different wavetable. So I'm going to go here, go back to the spectral, and I'm going to choose, let's try Trilobute 2. Okay, that's a bit too high. So I'm going to choose something different. Let's try schematics. Or sematics, whatever you call it. Yodel? Jesus Christ, that's something that you'll hear on here. Hang on. Let me choose yodel over here. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to keep looking for a decent wavetable. That's not a type of sound that you want. Okay. Ouch. Okay, that hurt my ears. there's always a certain combination of wavetables that you guys need to hear. So if there's a certain wavetable that sounds good when used with another wavetable through FM, go ahead, drop it in the comments below, or email it to me if you guys have my email, or send it to me through YouTube messages. If you guys want to know my Instagram, it's highpower_official. Send it to me through there. My Twitter is highpower. Go ahead, send it to me through there if you guys like. So I'm gonna keep trying to find a decent wavetable. Alright, I hate the white noise ones because you never really hear much from them, even though white noise can be good in some cases. That actually sounds kind of good. So I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna take LFO1 and I'm gonna take this modulator and drop it to the FM from B, the A warp. I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna reverse it so that way I can have this type of sound. I like to have trigger, so that way every time I hit a note, it always starts from the beginning through the LFO. Now, most sounds like this are not, they're not quick. They kind of either build up or build down. What the hell's wrong with me? Lower. So I'm going to set this to about 2 bars because I like that kind of sound. Alright, that sounds about good. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to take LFO1 and modulate the wavetable position of oscillator B. Remember, the level is all the ways down, so you do not hear any sound from oscillator B. Now thinking about it, I feel like I'm going to lower this FM from B, because that is going to kill me. That sounds about right. Okay. Now, all the other ones that I made, LFO1 has 3 modulators, but I forget what that modulator actually is. So, it's not the filter. The filter is LFO2. So I'm going to go ahead, LFO2, make another downwards ramp, mod source, LFO2. I know I could just drag and drop, but for some fucking reason it don't let me do anything over here. So, you don't want anything like that. You want... You want to go ahead, keep this off, and do not select BPM, because you want something that kind of sounds like this. So, since this is my first Ableton video, what I'm going to tell you right now is I'm absolutely in love with the effect Hyper and Dimension, because it adds such a unique sound to it. That sounds awesome, but me, I go full fucking overdrive with the Dimension. I don't even want to fuck with the Hyper, so I'm just going to leave it right where it is, at default. So here's what it sounds like now. Pretty neat. So, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add EQ. Actually, let me flop these two. So, now what you want to do is you want to take LFO2, modulate the frequency. Now, other tutorials that I've seen a tutorial for this type of sound, but what I'm doing is I'm mixing 2 tutorials. Because I saw how to make a hypergrowl from AU5. And this is what he used to make the hypergrowl, was modulate the frequency and select this. So I'm kind of mixing 1788L and hypergrowl, which it still sounds pretty fucking phenomenal. Now if I select the rate, drag it up really high, and then lower it as I hold down this button, that sounds pretty good. Now I'm going to take LFO2, drag and drop it to the frequency here, and create a notch. Now I'm going to add a compressor. I'm going to select multiband, because multiband compression sounds fucking awesome when in Serum. I'm going to go ahead and lower this a little bit. Now that doesn't sound like 1788L at the moment. That sounds more like it. I'm going to select chorus to make it a little bit better, or a little bit fatter, just to butter it up a little bit. Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to either select the filter, which I could if I really wanted to. So if I do that, here's what that's going to sound like. If I select note and put in a note cutoff, flanges, flange plus. That actually sounds awesome. I'm going to turn up the resonance a little bit. That sounds pretty lit. So I'm going to put that right there. I think I'm going to swap these two, see how that sounds. Sounds pretty awesome. So that's the basics of it, but me being me, I like to add a little bit of reverb. And I always add it to plate because it's such a lighter reverb. Just like that. Also adding a little bit of distortion to preference. I like downsample because I'm a res fan, but sometimes you gotta select something different. Let's see how diode 1 sounds. Ow! Okay, something different. Soft clip. Now if I go ahead, turn up the rate. Pretty good. Now we are nearly done. Go ahead, turn up the fat on the filter. Make it a little bit louder. Now, since this here is a little bit below the bar, I'm going to turn it up a little bit because I prefer louder sounds. Turn on the sub. One octave up from this note sounds phenomenal. I'm going to turn up the level. Alrighty. And right now we are nearly done. So, oh shit, wrong rate. Okay. Now to get those wind down sounds that he makes, it's quite simple, honestly. So I just double clicked. Of course, if you double click any of these bars, the clip's going to be shorter. So zoom out and click however you want, or just select and right click, insert MIDI clip. Quick, that's a quick little Ableton trick, a Live 10 trick. So I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna select this, the note. I'm gonna go with C0. Now, to get that pitch bend, what you're going to do, select this little button right here. Now, if you want it to pitch down, take this, or click it over here, and then click over here. So there's 2 points. Drag this all the way down. So it's going to sound kind of like this. If I solo this. So now, if I go ahead, take the LFO2 rate, and drag it up to something about 50 hertz. That sounds pretty cool. So it is right now somewhat low. I'm going to go ahead, bring it up to about, I'd say somewhere in between 40 and 45 hertz. I take it from up here, click right here, click down over here, and drag it downwards. Now when I play it, that sounds kind of awesome already. So, one thing I forgot, this is why I said I'm nearly done, put in a little bit of release. That's going to give you that extra sound to work with. That is why I like this technique a lot, because you can get industrial-like sounds, and actually, since I tried filming a tutorial like 4 fucking times already, this is actually pretty good for the 5th time without any issues. So I mean, that's basically it. And if you really wanted to, I could take the OTT X64 or OTT if you're running a 32-bit host, like 32-bit Ableton, but right now I have Ableton Live 10, which is only 64. This is a multiband compressor, and if you see, oh, what does this look like? Oh, I'm going to show you. Bam! What the fuck is that right there? Compressor, multiband. It's like a second Serum compressor. Or maybe the Serum compressor's the second OTT. We don't know. That actually sounds fucking awesome. So I'm going to leave the OTT there, right where it is, because it gives me a little bit of that high sound almost. So actually, let me select it so I can actually edit it. Now what I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to take out the reverb. Actually, I can turn that back on. I just need to shut it off. And add reverb to the end. So I don't think I have any reverb plugins at the moment, because all my plugins that I had when I was running Live 9 was 32-bit, but JBridge didn't work for me, so they didn't convert them. So at the moment I don't have any reverb plugins, but what I'm going to do now is I'm going to select the audio effects and reverb. And let's give that as soon as I turn down the size, because Ableton fucking goes hammer with it. Turn down the dry wet a little bit. That's pretty much it. So that's how you make 1788L style sounds, basically. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to mute this again. Now this part it actually sounds awesome, so I think I'm going to add this into my new track. But I'm going to go ahead, if this will close. There we go. And I'm going to mute it so you guys can hear the whole track without this part, because I have no idea where the hell I'm going to put that. I'm probably going to put it somewhere in the second drop. So just give this a quick little listen, and I think you guys won't regret it. If you guys do, I apologize. this ending part that you guys heard right here is going to be a part of the second build-up, and then, of course, after the second build, it's going to be the second drop. So, yeah, there you guys go. That is how you make 1788L sounds. Any questions, comments, concerns, feel free to slide in my DMs on Instagram. If you guys really want to, go ahead and message me on Twitter. Leave some comments. Drop a like if you guys liked the video. If you guys disliked the video, then drop a dislike. It really doesn't change me whatsoever. But again, thank you guys for watching.